right, we're talking to the University of Scranton women's basketball. The head coach, Trevor Woodruff, is with us. And Trevor, a very successful year it's been for the Lady Royals. National ranking, playing well in the conference. Like anything else, there's some ups and downs, but right now feeling good after a big win against a pretty good Catholic team.
Yeah, it's we're getting on the right track. We had a rough couple of weeks, at least by our standards. Probably one of the few teams in the country who, if you're sitting at 20-3 and you feel like maybe you've stumbled a few times and haven't done as well as you could, we're probably one of the few teams that are in that situation. So we're glad to be still in a situation where we're going to be able to compete for the conference championship. The win over Catholic secured our spot in the tournament. So I think we're playing our best basketball at the right time.
You're kind of always on the girls about, whether you're 19-0 or 20-3, you're kind of on them no matter what. Anything change with, going through some of those bumps with yourself? You kind of like, you're probably upset with yourself. They're probably upset with themselves, but nonetheless, you got to kind of regroup and go.
Well, I think for us, we really don't concentrate on the overall schedule. It's cliche, but we do focus on the game in front of us. That's our goal. We don't talk about being 25-0. Our goal is to be 1-0 25 times. People have heard me say that often. But this particular group, I think having lost has been part of our process. And I think that we've reacted well to it. We had some injuries and things that maybe hurt us along the way, but they've reacted pretty well. And I think the expectation hasn't changed. We continue to talk about the next game being the most important and having to win that game, and certainly Wednesday will be no different.
In the losses, you focus on a couple things, saying, we gave the ball away, we gave them some opportunities. What were some things you're kind of like saying, okay, we got to clean our act up here?
Yeah, well, I think you always do that as a coach. You kind of go through the film and beat yourself up, but try to be as honest as you can about the performance. And for us, it really boiled down to the fact that we weren't playing defense up to the expectation. We were giving up way too many easy shots, easy baskets, too many second chance points. Then add that to the things we weren't doing offensively or we're doing poorly, it cost us. And so we lost 3 out of 4. So we've kind of gone back to the basics. The girls have kind of recommitted to the defensive end of the floor, and we've held them very accountable for their performance defensively and maybe loosened the expectation offensively and allowed them to kind of just be a little freer. But I think that showed Saturday. We were playing a team that scored 82 against us 2 weeks ago, and they got 44, I think. So we've gotten back to basics. It's been good for us.
A girl like Sarah Payank, brings it. Recent accolades for her, things like that kind of make you realize kind of young lady you have here in her senior year.
Well, we're fortunate. There's no question. She does everything on the floor that you need to do to win. And as much as anything else, she's a complete team player. She affects the game in so many ways without scoring. I think she maybe is averaging 11 or 12 points a game. But when you add that to 10 rebounds and 6 or 7 assists and 3 blocks, and even things that don't show up in the stat sheets, just protecting people defensively, making defensive slides, the communication, all the things it takes for a team to win, she does. And, we're very fortunate to have her. We're going to try to relish the time we have left because when her and the rest of the seniors go, we're going to really miss them.
As you get towards the conference playoffs and then hopefully, move into some NCAA playoffs, just talk about the mentality that you believe this group could have to see it hopefully further. But you never know. Every year you could say, hey, this is the team, and it could have been last year or next year. No one ever knows that answer. So what do you try to do to kind of outlook ahead, even though you're doing that one game at a time thing?
Yeah, well, I think when you play for the Lady Royals, and this is long before I ever got there, the expectation is very high. So they started the year talking about lofty goals. And I think, I heard one time, if you meet all your goals, the goals probably weren't high enough. So, they've set goals of winning the conference and going to the Final Four, and, things that very few teams in the country can legitimately talk about. So, can we do that? Can we get there? I don't know. Time will tell. I'm excited to have the opportunity. I think this team understands, or is starting to understand, that it's the most important day that we have is today. And so we're going to go to practice and try to get better and prepare for Wednesday. But nothing out there in the distance really matters. It's all about Wednesday and how well can we play on Wednesday.
You find yourself, as you age a little bit, working smarter, harder, or both at this point, as you have the talent you have?
It's interesting. We've talked about that exact thing. Our effort has not been the issue. It's really been the execution of the things we talk about in practice. Working smarter, not harder, has been something we've said, exactly that terminology. So I think we're getting there. We have some younger players. It's taken them a while to pick things up, specifically on the defensive end, because we play a very team-oriented, disciplined style of defense. If one player's out of position, it can screw up the whole thing. So they're coming around. I like where we are as of Saturday. I think we can still get better, which makes the coach feel good. I don't think we've peaked yet. And so that's what we'll do. As far as me getting older, I haven't recognized that part. I feel the same age as I did when I first met you back in, I think, 1995, buddy.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
We go back and we talk about the transition for you, and you probably don't talk about it often, but you coached men's basketball for all those years, and I'm sure there was some reservations. Okay, I'm going to go coach a women's team. I'm going to move conferences. I'm moving right up the road. It's not that far, but where are you at now? And the years go by. I can't remember. Is it 2, 3, 4 years at this point? But talk about personally. I'm sure it's pretty rewarding there at the University of Scranton.
Well, it is. I'm fortunate. It's one of the. I tell people it's one of the 5 best jobs in the country, and I believe that. I don't think there's a better coaching job, regardless of sport, in Northeast Pennsylvania. I think I have the best one, and I wake up every day knowing that. I try to keep it in perspective when you go through a tough spell or you have a particularly rough day. That I get to do what I love to do at a tremendous university and one of the best programs in the country. So keeping things in perspective, that helps. The men and women thing, I talked about it a lot. A lot of people have asked, and there's no question there are differences. There are challenges to both, and certainly not all men are the same. Not all women are the same. I have some women that I would say, have a male personality in the way they attack things. I had some males who maybe were a little more feminine in the way that they approach. There is no normal or no exact way to put it. You just try to get to know each kid, figure out the best way to motivate each kid, and then once they know you love them and you believe in them, they'll let you coach them. And I've coached these girls every bit as hard as I have the men, and it's because I love them every bit as much as I did the men.
On a personal note, 8 minutes from home versus 28 minutes from home, that's got to help a little bit because you're a family guy.
Yeah, 8 minutes when the traffic's bad. It's actually, it's 2 miles right down Monroe Ave. It's been nice for me. It's been nice for my family to be able to spend more time with me at work. My 5-year-old son in particular, he's probably got better relationships with the girls than I do. And I know they definitely like him way more than they like me. But it's been great to have him around the office. And, that just ties in with how fortunate I feel to be where I'm at this point in my career, have the job I have. Some guys have all the luck. I feel very fortunate.
Trevor, always great catching up with you. We appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thanks for what you do.
We're continuing the conversation with the Lady Royals here at our Carol and Janelle, the pizza capital of the world. Sarah Payonk with us, and Sarah, Coach said you do everything well. He loves that about you. No matter what you're asked to do, you do it. Whether it's the 8 rebounds or the 6 block shots and the 12 points, whatever. Talk about just being an unselfish player for the betterment of the team.
Well, obviously our team has so many great players, so it's not hard to be unselfish on the court because there's so many people that can do so much with the ball. So it's nice to be fortunate enough to have a team that's so talented and it makes it so easy to play with like that.
I'm sure at some point in your high school career you're thinking, boy, I really got to stretch myself. I'm going to go to a great university with incredible academics, and I'm going to be on a basketball team that's nationally ranked. You keep finding yourself digging a little bit more, saying, I could do this.
Yeah, academics and athletics are both things that are very important to me, and I think that it's important to have a great last season because it's the last season of basketball I'm ever going to play, so definitely want to make the most of it.
Talk about your career, the academic part, what your major is, and what lies ahead for you.
So I'm a nursing major, so I really like oncology. I'm probably going to try to work either in the Philly or New York area when I graduate. That's pretty much my academic life to achieve.
You're going to be a busy young lady in that career. Where'd the aspirations come from to head into the nursing field?
I've always liked the medical field. When I was applying to schools, I was looking at a lot of PA schools actually, but none of the schools were the right fit for me. So then I loved everything about Scranton. They just didn't have PA, so I switched to nursing, and ever since then I've loved it. I've loved clinicals. I've loved my classes. So ended up being a great fit for me.
Sometimes, having the right coach or a coach or a person in your life, a parent push you. Talk a little bit what it's been like to have somebody like Coach Woodruff push you.
Well, Coach Woodruff is a great coach. He pushes us really hard to practice, and I think that he tries to get the best out of all of us, and had some pretty good success with it.
This young group, new players come in every year, and you see new players every year. What's it like to now be in that leadership role to kind of rub off on these girls, saying this is the University of Scranton way?
Well, I think I've had such a great experience here, so it's not hard to pass on the tradition, because it's something that's really important to me and to all of us seniors. So I think it's definitely weird being the senior, not the freshman, when it seems like just yesterday you were the first one, you were the freshman on the team. But we have a great freshman group, and I know they're going to carry on the tradition just like you did. So.
Are you hard on yourself? And if you are, what are some things about your game you say, hey, I got to work on it. I got to keep getting better at this?
Yeah. I'm pretty critical of myself, but I think a lot of people on our team are. My biggest thing, I throw a lot of turnovers, but I'm a big risk-reward person, and don't always get the reward, but I definitely need to work on limiting those, working on my defense and not fouling and being in the right spots. I think every game there's something to improve on or things you can do better, so just trying to work on the little things and hoping everything comes together.
How about Alexis Roman? Tell us a little bit about what you like when she's out there on the court.
Roman's one of my best friends on and off the court, and I'm so lucky to play with the post. It's as talented as she is. It's kind of nice because our styles of play complement each other. She works really well on the low post, and she has the most amazing hands I've ever seen in my life. So she can catch anything I throw at her, whether it's a great pass or a terrible one. She'll catch it every time, and it's awesome getting to play with her for 4 years, and I'm so grateful that I've had that opportunity.
Differences in the game with Catholic, one game they're scoring 80, another game you're winning, they're scoring 40. Coach kind of said, listen, we got to buckle down on that defensive part.
Yeah, I think the defense definitely was the differentiating factor in those two games. If we have to score 90 points to beat a team, we're not going to win many games. We're just not that type of team. But I think that if we really lock in on defense, it saves us when our offense isn't always there, because defense is a constant for us.
I said to Coach Woodruff, you never know. You could think, you're ranked 25th and you go all the way. You could be not ranked and do it. You could be a high-ranked team and things can change during a season. So you never know when that last game is going to be, and we're going to be facing that pretty shortly. And you said you're kind of prepared for this is going to be my last game coming up. I'm sure you want it to last as long as it could.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're feeling when those playoffs come up.
Well, you just can't take any game for granted, and especially there's no guarantee that we'll get a NCAA bid if we don't win the conference. So we have to take every game one at a time. So right now our focus is on Susquehanna, and then we'll take it from there and hopefully make the season last as long as we can.
And I guess Coach had mentioned, the Landmark mentioned about their top players in the conference over the last 10 years, and you made it. What's it feel like to know that you're one of the best ever in the Landmark?
I think it speaks a lot to the program and our team. I think that I obviously wouldn't have the success I have without them, and I think the fact that we've had 4 players out of the 10 in the all-conference team speaks a lot to the prestigiousness of this program and the players that come in and out. And I think that we have so many other talented players on our team that may not get as much recognition, but are just as important to the team and the program as me and Roman.
Well, congratulations, Sarah. We wish you the best in your future career there as a nurse.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking with Mackenzie Yorey from the University of Scranton Lady Royals basketball team. Mackenzie, talk about walking into a great situation. Obviously, you kind of laid out your cards, and you did so much right on the high school end. And Coach Woodruff was really after you, and there's a lot of schools that kind of would have liked your talents. But talk about heading over and becoming a Lady Royal.
It's been a great process. It's been an exciting process, and it's just been a lot of fun so far. It really has been, and it's flown by so quickly. And I've just had such a great time with the girls, and the girls have made it so easy for the transition from high school into being a Lady Royal, and the coaching staff is great and always working us hard and keeping us focused, and it's just been a really great experience so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
You have a maturity about you that probably you're able to step into a program like the University of Scranton. Talk a little bit about that background of yours, whether it's academically or athletically, between your family and coaches.
Yeah. Well, all my life I've been playing basketball and softball. So I've played in many big games before, and had a lot of experience with playing in tight situations. And we've had a few of those this year, and we also had a few losses. But I have also lost in my career, so it always also helps to have that experience, so I can learn how to bounce back and everything like that. And it was very helpful, definitely, with my whole sports career, my whole life, and it's a really great season so far, and it's been great. So.
How about learning from some of these seniors and upperclassmen, and seeing how they kind of handle everything? And I'm sure at some point they kind of reeled you in and said, "Listen, here's how we do it," and you seem to adapt it pretty well.
Absolutely. They accepted me immediately, and even on my visit when I came, they were great with me, and all the girls, they were one of the #1 reasons I picked Scranton. And the seniors are great. They're always there for us when we need. They always give us instruction if they think we need to do something better, or they can see a place where we can improve. They're really great girls, and I'm going to miss them a lot.
There's a saying that I like in the quote-unquote education / coaching field, and it's hammer, 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 hug. And Coach Woodruff kind of has that style about him, where he's going to kind of tell you, okay, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. At the end, he's going to tell you some things you're doing right. Talk about the difference of being recruited by him and kind of learning a little bit more about his coaching style.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not the same guy on the court as he is in the office, but he just wants the best out of everybody. And he just pushes you and pushes you to the best of your ability, because he knows he can always get more out of you, and that's what you want out of a coach. I mean, I really enjoyed playing underneath him, and we're going to continue to work hard, and he's going to continue to push us, and that'll make us continue to make us successful. I'm
sure somewhere on the court at some point this year, that little bit of Gavio's got to be out there with you as well.
He'll always be with me. He'll always be with me. He had a big part of my life, so I'll never forget Coach Gav. Yeah.
For you, being in some of these big games, seeing the Landmark Conference, the competition is so good, the play is so good. What's it been like to be a high school athlete and be thrown into a very good Division III program? And some kids are like, hey, I want to go to the NBA, the WNBA, I want to be here. Just playing in college is such an accomplishment for any student athlete, to be able to balance stuff and then be able to actually go out and compete.
Yeah. It's definitely totally different than high school, but it's been such an enjoyable experience. I mean, it definitely has not been easy. The Landmark Conference is a great conference, and they challenge you every single game, and only make us better. Like my class of 2016 will only get better and better once we get to gel and play together throughout the 4 years together. And no, it hasn't been easy. I mean, being thrown in and everything, adjusting to college, adjusting to the workload, time managing, it hasn't been easy, but it has been a fun ride. It's been quick so far, but I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, continued health and success, and you look pretty good in that purple, all right?
All right, thank you.
Mackenzie Yorr here from the University of Scranton women's basketball team. All right, we're continuing the conversation with the University of Scranton Lady Royals. Denise Rizzo with us. She's the senior. Denise, let's talk about the fun, although at times I'm sure it's nerve-wracking. Talk about what this season has been like for you.
This season's been a little bit up and down. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a challenging season, but it's been good. I think the losses really put the season, for me at least, in perspective, and I think it's only fueled the fire, and we're ready.
It's kind of funny that everybody kind of, I think, has the same take, that a little feel of up and down, even though I think you're like 20-3, because some of those losses you're probably thinking, we kind of did some stuff to ourselves. Maybe talk a little bit about,
Yeah.
because the expectations are very, very high this year.
Exactly. And it is hard to be like, oh, we've had a tough season when you're 20-3, but when you're used to playing a certain way and when you have an expectation as high as Lady Royals do have, you're down on yourself a little because all the games that we lost were single-digit losses and they were so unbelievably winnable. It's like we beat ourselves, and you can't be mad at anyone except for yourself when you beat yourself.
And I think all of us kind of go through that in life itself, of maybe beating up on ourselves a little bit, is never get too low from the losses, never get too high from the wins. What are some things that Coach kind of hits home with all of you about, with, you know, one game at a time approach, or for some of those catchphrases I'm sure that he has for you?
He did say that, one game at a time. Like, we play Susquehanna on Wednesday, and that's the most important game on our schedule because it's the only game we have any control over. And we can't look too far ahead in advance because you don't know what's going to happen, and you can't really dwell on the past because you can't change it. So I think that's kind of where our heads are at, and it's like you said, don't let the highs get too high or the lows get too low, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of dealing with that.
Let's talk about your experience overall at the University of Scranton and being a student athlete. As you know, the academic standards are pretty darn high.
Yes.
And of course, you'll talk a little bit about your major as well. What's it been like for you all these years?
I really like the structure of being a student athlete. It really helps me with time management, specifically myself, because you don't really have time to procrastinate because you have practice at this time, you have class at this time, so you have to get your work done. And just like basketball standards are extremely high, so are academic standards. My major is business administration and human resources, so it's a lot of work, but I love it. I'm looking forward to getting a job in that field when I graduate.
In that next phase of your life, you're thinking maybe like New Jersey, New York-ish, right in that area?
Yeah. If I could work in New York City, that'd be good. 'Cause I don't live too far from the city, so.
How about your camaraderie with these girls who are from all over the place? What's it been like as far as your friendships and getting to know them on and off the court?
It's been really great, and it's like you said, we have a good amount of local people on our team, which is really awesome because you get to experience Scranton from a different perspective. We get to come to cool places like this, eat good food, and my friendships stem from the basketball team. That's where all my best friends are, and you learn a lot about somebody playing with them, like watching them play, and then off the court, it's like a different side of them. So it's been really great, and I think people that aren't on the team don't have the same experience. I find myself to be lucky because of that.
And talk about your role as a senior, as a player. You know, what do you try to do to kind of make it a great experience?
I mean, as a senior, as one of the captains, I just feel like it's part of our job to set a good example, so off the court, on the court. And like, this is the last year that I'm playing basketball, so I just want it to be the best season possible. And I think that everybody else on our team like really knows that and is aware of that, and like they want it to be the best season for us, and we want it to be the best season for them. And when you have a team that really feels that, then it's a good recipe for success.
Well, we're rooting for you the entire way. Hope the season goes as long as it possibly can, okay?
Thank you.
All right, we're with Emily Sheehan from the University of Scranton women's basketball team. And Emily, some of the girls we spoke to already saying, hey, they kind of like some of the local girls on the team and, you know, some of the freshmen that have come in. It's a pretty interesting mix. So what's Division III high-level college basketball like for you?
It's really exciting. It's definitely something that I wanted to do like for my whole life, and when I was looking at where I wanted to go, Scranton was so close to me because I live 5 minutes away really, so that was always in the back of my mind. And then senior year when Coach Woodruff got the job and he started recruiting me, so then I started looking into it more, and I'm really happy that I chose there.
Coming in with a girl like Mackenzie Yori, who's a talented young lady as well, got such a vibrant personality. What's it like kind of maybe getting used to being a freshman and now growing up a little bit through the year?
It's really nice to have her with me, like playing, because we were both starting as freshmen, so we shared that special bond of playing together. But even all the other freshmen, we're all really super close, and we're his first freshman recruiting year, so we're always going to have like that special bond with Coach. So during like the 4 years that we're here together, we're definitely going to grow closer.
Come from a program that is just so good at Dunmore, and Coach O'Brien, and he definitely has a certain demeanor about him. And then you move over to Coach Woodruff. Every coach has a little different style. What did you learn about yourself this year playing college basketball under Coach Woodruff?
It's definitely more intense than high school was, but I played AAU, so AAU is just as intense as what college basically was. So playing for Coach Woodruff is more comparable to AAU than high school, but and college basketball is a lot faster than high school. But I definitely wouldn't be here without my high school coaches and all that, that program and all of that. So
good seniors for leadership at the University of Scranton. What have the seniors meant to freshmen like yourself to kind of learn from them and be accepted and kind of learn a little bit about how to balance stuff and be a college student athlete?
Well, we have 3 seniors who play a decent amount of time, so we have a lot of help when we need it. So I was out with my foot. I got hurt, so when I started coming back, Sarah would help me with the plays that I missed, so that I would be back on track when I came back. So they're always there for us if we ever need help with plays, or if we just have a question about schoolwork or anything. They're always there for us. They're really supportive, and they really made coming onto the team as a freshman enjoyable.
How about things you do that you never thought you'd do playing basketball, whether it's watching film, scouting the other team, or the practice length, or the time that you put into basketball?
The preseason was definitely longer than anything I've ever experienced, because it's the most important. But as film and scout wise go, I did a lot of that in high school. We watched a lot of film with Dunmore. The scout in college is a lot more in depth. We really look at each player, what they do, what their tendencies are, specific plays that they have, so we could guard them and take away anything that they can do. So the scout is, I think, mostly the main difference of what college and high school was, but it's a lot of the same stuff too.
The ups and downs, and everybody talking a little bit about, it feels like a lot of downs. There's only 3 of them in the L column,
yeah.
But the next few weeks will be pretty important. Hopefully it's a few weeks.
Yeah.
Talk about what you're really looking forward to with some of those challenges.
The postseason is going to be really exciting. We know we're in a tough position now, but it's good to have some adversity, because then we get to look back and see what we did wrong, and we could fix what we did wrong. So going forward, I think that what happened to us in the past with our losses is going to make us a better team, and we're going to be able to grow as a team together in the postseason and hopefully go as far as we can.
Well, we wish you well. Great for you to come out to our Carolyn Donnell and the Takeaway Kitchen tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.